Hello, and welcome to Talking Ghosts with the Illinois Paranormalists. Or Ghost Talk, I forgot which one we did. But
Whatever we want it to be this week.
whatever you want it to be. But we are here to talk about our investigation of the Sandwich Opera House in Sandwich, Illinois, just a little bit west here of Chicago. And the main topic of the movie, we had three sensitives with us, two of whom are here today. And they participated and assisted with the investigation. And we also have some EVPs and other evidence to talk about. Christine's going to give you kind of a history of the Opera House.
Okay. Hello, I'm Christine, and thanks for joining us. So a little history. It was built in 1878. Originally, it's an opera house. It was city hall, police department, and a jail. And then in 1970, it was supposed to be demolished because I guess nobody was really using it, but they reopened it in 1986, and it has been open since then. There was a former Mayor Julius Hummel, and he's the one who commissioned the place to be open in the first place. And so when he passed away in 1930, he insisted that his funeral was to be
Held.
On
there.
site,
Held there.
yes.
I'm like, what? Held there. So they had a funeral. I believe it was in the actual area of the theater.
Oh.
So that was kind of interesting. So who knows? He might still be there because he's very dedicated if he wanted to have his funeral there. But yeah, it was a very large area. We went into all the different areas as far as, it was a police department. So we'll go into, like the washroom there that had still the bars to the jail there, which was real interesting. But yeah, that was kind of the history. It was built in 1878.
I just realized we forgot to kind of introduce everybody who's here, so everybody knows that. My name is Paul.
I'm Leslie.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Christine.
I'm Karen.
And I think this is Karen and Caitlin's first podcast with us.
It
Yes.
is.
And they are our sensitives. And so we're
Yay.
really excited. I mean, I'm kind of sensitive too. Like,
I've got nothing.
yeah. I mean, I'm sensitive towards other people's
Yeah,
feelings.
she cries all the time. She's very sensitive.
But yeah, Karen and Caitlin, this is their first podcast with us. And they've been with us a little bit now, but they're some of our newer team members. And we love having them around. They bring a totally different aspect to our ghost hunts now that we have them. Because really, most of us aren't that sensitive. So we kind of rely on our equipment. And so it's kind of fun having these two. And we like to split them up and we see if we get the same stuff from them. And so far, it's been pretty on point to where it's kind of freaky. So we're glad that they're, with us, and we're glad that we could introduce you to them today. So
Yeah, on that, we went to another opera house just before Sandwich, which was the
Beardstown.
Beardstown.
And all three of them were there as well. We have another person in our group that's sensitive, Aaliyah, and all three of them were there. Was Aaliyah there? No, Aaliyah was not there. These two were there. And so we were doing a tour, and Karen kept looking up at something, and I was like, what are you looking at? Because I know when she gets that look in her eye, she sees something. And so she's like, there's somebody up there just staring at us. So, of course, I go over there and immediately take pictures. And she says I crouched down. He did that. And so afterwards, I asked Caitlin. I know she hadn't talked to Karen because you guys didn't really know each other at that point. I said, did you see anything? And she's like, yeah, up in that one corner, there was a guy over there. And it was the same spot that Karen said. And they kept doing that all night and making me go into dark areas that they're like, go in there and tell me if you feel anything. And so when we did the Sandwich investigation, I said, all right, you guys, I want nobody to, I thought they're probably mad at me. I want nobody talking to each other.
Yeah, we're not allowed to be friends.
No, don't be friends for the first hour of this. I want you guys just only tell me what you feel. And it was the weirdest thing because they were all.
Christine's bossy.
I am very bossy. So we went in the basement and I asked one of them, I said, what'd you feel when you walked down here? And they're like, well, I felt like there was a wall to my right and it was just kind of hitting me. And I'm like, okay. And I go to Karen and she's like, she's like, I felt something on this side of my body. It was my right side. And it was like, I think Aaliyah said, yeah, I got pushed from the right side. They all said the exact same thing. And I know they didn't talk to each other because I warned them not to. And so,
nobody disobeys Christian.
Nobody disobeys.
No.
So that was very cool. And they kept doing that like consistently. And, when we're doing EVP sessions, they all perked up like at the same time. It was so funny. It was kind of interesting to watch.
Yeah, it's kind of nice too. So I know I'm not crazy when I feel things, like to have that confirmation. I love that you guys do separate us for that exact reason. Because I'm like, I think I felt something there. And it's almost confirmed by one of the other two people there.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. I feel the same way. That I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
At least not because of that.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well,
I
the
mean,
basement at Sandwich
we're ghost hunting.
was freaking people out.
The basement was probably one of like the strongest feelings I've ever had in my life.
I think you had to leave the basement.
Yeah, I
at
was the one who
point,
I said
right?
I'm done. Like I got up. I've never had that type of intense emotion.
And then I was freaked out because Caitlin's like, we got to get out of here. And I'm like, oh, okay, we got to go. I'm
Yep.
going to,
All
let's
of them
go.
were like, I don't want to be down here anymore.
Well, I think with all of us, the sensitives being together, I think it amplifies everything.
Yeah, when we were in the basement too, because it was us three and then Leslie, like all of us were on one end of the table. And so I think that side of the table just like got all the energy.
It was definitely very uncomfortable.
Oh.
Very uncomfortable.
And then there's Christine who feels nothing. And I'm just like, where? Tell me where to go. Tell me where you feel.
Why are we
everything.
leaving?
Yeah.
But you got a lot of EVPs, so.
I did.
You did get a lot.
Yeah.
And this was an investigation, and this happens where the rest of us got like little or none, and Christine got them all.
She's popular.
And that
with the
happens.
spirit community.
Yeah, that happens with EVPs, where out of all the mics, maybe only one picks something up.
Well, they know I can't hear them like these guys. So maybe it's like,
Yeah.
well, we'll have to put it on a recorder. Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was interesting because listening, there was a lot of humming, little girls humming. And you guys, I know you told me in the theater, you heard a little girl humming, and in the basement, somebody else told me.
Yeah,
that
there
they
was a
heard-
little girl in the basement that was actually trying to interact with us when the group that I was with was down there. So it was very interesting. And then she kind of came back when we did the full team investigation down in the basement.
And I wasn't singing Little Wayne this time.
Yeah,
So it
that's
wasn't
right.
me.
Little Wayne. Oh, I'll never forgive you for that one.
Sorry.
So yeah, that was very cool. So so we started the investigation. We split up into two groups.
Well, we should start out first. We had dinner
Oh,
in an
yeah.
old train car.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
At, what was it called? The Bull Moose?
The Bull Moose.
So if you're ever down in Sandwich, I definitely recommend checking it out. It was really cool. We ate in an old train car, and the whole time we were sitting there, I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is haunted. Like, I wish we could investigate this.
Yeah.
But that was really cool.
That was after shopping, though, of course.
Yes,
nice
I-
little
yeah.
place.
Bought a new purse. So
Food is always important to ghost hunters. I think you may have
Snacks.
picked up on
Snacks.
The
that.
dinner,
Snacks.
yes.
Yeah.
That's like my.
We don't like the word snacks.
No. Oh, I like snacks.
But by the way, well, you don't like them when the Rialto uses it. But, yeah, now I've lost my train of thought.
sorry.
We all need food.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Were you being funny with the train thing?
We are going to be hosting a public investigation at Sandwich
Yes.
Mhm.
where you can buy tickets and come along with us, and we will take you on an investigation and probably split people into like 2-3 groups. It's not that big of a place, but it's also beautiful and pretty fascinating. So, yeah, if you're interested, look at their site and all that. They'll be selling tickets.
Do you know what month it is?
I
Was it September or August?
think it's October.
Oh,
end of
October.
Man, I was really off. And we're not, unfortunately, we're not taking y'all out to dinner either. But you
We-
can come
you
ghost
can go
hunt with
You can
us.
go
early.
there.
Yes.
You can go there before.
Yeah.
So.
We might be there.
Yeah,
For
you
dinner.
might see us there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, it's still a working theater, which is really cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
So-
have all kinds of shows and stuff there. Still, it's a really nice theater.
They did an amazing job really restoring it and keeping a lot of the natural or historic integrity
Mhm.
of even just the ways that the seats look and the way the theater looks, walls, paint, everything.
Mhm.
It really is kind of like you're stepping back in time.
And Sandwich is a very nice little town, by the way, if you haven't been out there.
It was
So,
nice.
It was
yeah.
a very nice town.
I think one of my favorite rooms there was the bathroom because it had the okay. So
Dinner was
stay
that
with
good.
me. Stay with me here. So the women's bathroom was cool because the women's bathroom used to be the old jail cells.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
some of the bars are still up in there.
Yeah.
And some of the writing is
You could
still
still see
on
the carving.
walls.
There was a
Yeah.
name in, I think, the biggest cell on the end.
It was crazy.
And
So-
they said they get stuff there in the bathroom,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't think we did. I may or may not have went in there in the bathroom and had my recorder going, but we're not going to talk about that. But I didn't get anything. So,
So are the bars like between the stalls or?
You didn't go into the ladies' bathroom?
No, I didn't.
oh, geez, Paul.
I could have
Missed
stood
opportunity.
watch.
What kind of investigator are you?
right?
I still remember you showing me the bathroom at Amboy where there were no stalls at all, just open toilets, and you were all freaked out.
Amboy.
Amboy. I wasn't
The
there.
Amboy Tap,
I
the
wasn't there.
train station.
Oh.
And we were sitting by the restrooms. She opens the door. Look at this. There's no stalls.
There was no stalls, and there's like 2 toilets next to each other.
The bathrooms
I'm
didn't
sorry.
have like the thing. It was like on the wall, right?
Yeah.
The bars were just on the
Yeah,
wall,
the
like
walls
were-
attached to it.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it wasn't like you opened a bar, to go to the bathroom, like, or anything like that. No.
Next time we're there, I'll stand watch,
Okay.
and you can go in and check it out.
so that was pretty cool. But when we did the tour, the guy showed us
I
around.
keep hitting it. I'm sorry.
It was he told us some interesting things about when he went to the basement. I don't know if all you guys were there when he was talking about it, but he closes up at night for the theater, and he said it was like this tiny little elevator into the basement, so he would go down, and then right when he got to the bottom floor, before the doors opened, he would hear people talking down there and stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't down there when
Yeah.
he was. I got stuck upstairs where
So-
the elevator wasn't moving because we forgot to push the button.
Oh yeah, okay. So he had to do that.
We stood up there for a good long while.
I think I was with you.
Yep, you were.
So he said the doors would open, and he's like, So he would lock. So from then on, he'd always lock the doors open when he had to go to the basement to turn off lights, because he's like, he doesn't want it like closing behind him. He wants to be able to do a quick exit. But
Yeah, I would mention that a lot of places we go, the people that work there freak out when they have to stay at night and close up.
yeah,
Yeah, didn't you go
And-
around with that guy to help
Yeah,
him
that
close
was
up
at-
that night?
yeah,
that
he had
was
to
a
go down. I said, I'm going down with you. I want to hear
Oh.
it. This stuff going on. So
Also at Sheboygan, they told
Sheboygan.
us that he didn't want to go alone to lock the place up.
Honestly, I don't blame him.
And it was a
I would've
me
and-
neither.
But he was a ghost hunter. I mean, he should be used to this, but he didn't.
I don't know.
wanna
When
go.
you guys were hiding from me in the basement, I felt a little panicky for a minute. I was like, ugh. Were you in that group that was hiding from me
No,
at
I was.
Sheboygan?
no,
Yeah.
It was-
People all hide from you.
They
Yeah.
all hid from me, and I was a little scared because
Yeah.
I know there's mice down
we
there.
just hid
Yeah.
around the corner. It's
Yeah.
fine.
And
Nice.
raccoons
She found us.
and mice and
very funny.
I might have uttered some explosives.
What was the other anything else he mentioned?
They had
Well-
experienced some stuff in the main theater,
Yes,
like
the
people's
back.
hair being like somebody's walking by or feeling the seat vibrate, like somebody's kicking the back of the seat.
Yeah, that was in. So we were trying to have that happen. So we split up. Some went in the basement, some went upstairs. We went up to the theater. And immediately Karen, actually all three of them got onto the person that was up on the balcony. There was a
Mhm.
gentleman up there, or
An entity.
entity.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know if it was a person per se.
No.
That thing was pretty nasty,
It was an entity.
gnarly.
And what did you tell me the other day when you were looking up there, and then you looked down to Aaliyah, because he was just going back and forth, and you said he was hanging on to the.
He was hanging on to the balcony like the spindles and then putting his head in between and shaking his head back and forth. But he was changing into like a little kid to do it because the way the entity likes to change, like a shape shifting, change into what you want to see them as. So he was trying to change into a little boy to do it. So, and then I was looking at that go on and watching back and forth. And I just happened to look down at Aaliyah and I saw her look the same way. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's seeing it too. So it wasn't just me seeing that. I'm like, oh, great.
Caitlin, did you see it going back and forth?
Yeah, so I originally saw just his eyes because when we first walked out, the lights weren't on and we came from the stage. And so we were looking out and all I saw was like two glowing orbs up there. And I didn't fully, it felt bad. Like it's really hard to explain, but just like dirty and ill and like stay away. And then later when we went up, my team actually went up to that balcony and I walked over to that side with Paige and it was like this entity like literally started hovering over her. And it was not good.
Oh,
like
that's not good. That's
And
my,
she
that's
could
my
kinda-
baby.
I think Paige could kind of feel it
yeah.
too.
Really?
It was weird. You guys were kind of freaking me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was like, Paige, can we leave? And she's like, no, I want to go over. I'm like, okay, I'll go with you. But like, could we not? If we could not be over here. And then she did feel it. And that's why we eventually left. And we actually like went downstairs. We like kind of booked it out of there. But he was trapped up there.
What's kind of weird because when we were in the balcony, we were sitting on the other side, and I guess I feel some stuff sometimes, but I definitely, if you guys remember, I was like, I feel like there's somebody over there just like staring at us, and it just felt weird. And then you guys like, yeah, and I'm like, holy cow. So yeah, the balcony was kind of weird. You went up in the balcony too with Paige,
With
didn't you?
Paige, yeah, because
because you guys went up afterwards.
Yeah, because you're like all saying there's something up there, something up there. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go up there, 'cause
Well, I was telling you to go up there.
Well, the
I
first
told
time.
you that there was something up there.
Mhm.
So you decided, well, I'm going up there.
Yeah.
Did you feel anything up there?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Hmm.
I tell you, I got nothing. So, but when Paige and I went up there together, we put the recorder and the K2 between us, and I can't remember what I asked, but I said, "Oh, You're like, oh, he's just lonely up here. He wants to be friends." And you guys are all snickering down there, like, "No, do not be friends with him." I'm like, "Oh, I'll be your friend,"
Do
And
not recommend.
then I think the K2 went off, and that was the only time it went off. And then I think I do have an EVP. It was just something weird that happened after, like I said something.
Mhm.
So, but no, I didn't feel anything up there.
Well, the presence that was in the green room that was behind us on stage,
Mhm.
that one was what was keeping that entity up on that balcony. So that was keeping it there.
You said it was a female,
Yeah,
right?
wasn't
That
it a
was
female?
female.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the one we did a little show for.
Yes.
And
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Caitlin can do some dancing, man.
Yeah, a little Irish dancing. That
Well, I was impressed.
yes.
yeah, I almost sprained my ankle, but it's fine.
Paige-
As long as the ghosts like the show. But yeah, it was I'm assuming she performed there was an opera singer, but she was a very, very strong. Like when we walked in behind the stage and they first opened the door to the stage, I know I at least got like this overwhelming like energy from her. And she'd go and perform, but she was very, very powerful.
So she was
I know I did. I know Paul was right behind me when I walked in that room.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and it seems like that's the energy that's keeping that guy at bay up there.
She's keeping him in check.
Yeah, she's like a protector of some sort. Like when we were sitting behind the stage in my little group, just something about her is like she feels the need to protect
anyone
who's there.
So, do you think this entity is something that was related to the Opera House in the past, or it's something like just energy from somewhere else that has found its way there?
I got the impression it wasn't related, but I mean,
Right.
I didn't ask him, so
I agree with Caitlin. I believe it's probably not related to it, but it might have been trapped by something else and it ended up there.
Interesting.
Well, it happens. Entities move,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, they will just suddenly latch into a place. I mean, we know the Rialto. There's rumors of like 5, 6, 7 deaths there, and none of which can be proven true. And other places we've gone, Farrar and a few others, there is no record of anybody dying on site, no record why there'd be anything there. And there are entities other than human ghosts
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yeah.
So
Do you think he's stuck there, or
I think he can't leave because of the woman on the stage.
Right.
interesting?
She keeps him trapped up there, and in order for him to leave the premise, she would have to release her hold, but then she releases her hold on him.
Such is life.
Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
he could have been attached to something too that was brought into that theater at a certain time.
Well, and that's the thing though, is like, because it's been more than just a theater. Like right now, there's still like city hall offices, I think, in there,
Correct.
and it was a jail before.
Mhm.
So I mean, we don't really know what could have, because I think you leave a little bit of energy everywhere you go. So who knows, like who they had in there? Maybe they.
Well, in the basement too, didn't they have it was like an area where the horses were kept.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for like an old firehouse
Yeah.
or fire
Yeah.
truck, because there was the ramp that
Oh,
they would
yeah.
walk them up and down, and that's why there was a divot on the side of the ramp was for the fire hose they could lay out.
That's right.
This
So-
place was just full of so much different types of history.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
And it'd be very interesting if you want to join us.
Yeah.
For the public hunt. But
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Christine, you want to play a couple of EVPs at this moment? 'Cause
Sure.
you said you had one or two.
Yeah, I mean, we can
That-
go through let me see which ones I like one of the humming ones we can do. So like the silver more humming would be one. I try to name
Brian,
them. Or
did you
girl
hear that?
humming. Silver girl humming. right?
That's weird.
Yeah, I hear
That
that.
definitely wasn't one of us.
Okay, so that's when we were all sitting up in the balcony, and I was like, look over to and I'm like, look
Yeah.
over to the right because I feel like there is something over there, and it was kind of an out.
Yeah, that one's when it says around when you were saying, what the hell is that in the back corner?
Yeah, because it was,
Yeah.
and then it turned out to be like part of the banister and the way the shadows were hitting
Yeah.
it, but still, it felt like something very
Well, I think you
weird.
were feeling the entity over there, and then the shadow. Your mind like tries to
Yeah.
find a logical explanation. So you're like, oh, it's a person. Oh, just kidding, it's a shadow. But
That
I think
humming is really weird.
Yeah. You want to
Yeah.
hear it
Yeah.
again? Let's hear it
Yeah,
again.
let's hear it again.
And all the humming ones I'm hearing, they all sound the same. There's another one that says girl humming. In the silver girl
Oh,
hum.
it's like silver. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me like the first like 01, 02 silver.
No, it wasn't oak. Can you tell us how many spirits stay in the basement?
Oh, did I play the wrong one? I think I did. Sorry.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear something.
Is that in the basement?
And whispering. Let's see, silver quarter. Sound theater. That was in the theater.
In the theater.
Okay.
The basement was
Yeah.
super loud.
That was, wasn't it? Well, you know, it might have been with. Let's see who has. No, this is one that was just sitting in the theater all night.
Here, it's
So
right
none
in.
of us were even in there, right?
No.
Was this one you just left in
got-
there?
Yeah, is one I just
Yeah.
left in there. I think at that point nobody was really
Well,
in there.
that's weird.
Yeah.
But we were in and out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
And
you would have. We're all chatty Cathy's. We would have all been talking. So just to hear the
Some of you are chatty Cathy.
just to hear the humming by itself and not anybody else
Mhm.
talking, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, we were about big rooms over, but you could hear when we were talking in
I
the back.
think there might have been a little girl down in the basement and one behind the stage that might have been with that lady entity.
Yeah, I definitely heard the humming when we were physically there, like multiple times whenever it'd get really quiet. And I think a few of us were like, okay, is that anybody like under their breath or like what are we all hearing the same thing? But there was definitely a little girl in the basement.
Well, this is in the basement when you guys were all down there. So it was pretty much everybody was sensitive down there. In the red girl whisper, it's right before Aaliyah. Something says something, but I don't know. And then she's like, it's right next to me. So red girl whisper.
Sorry, one second. Maybe this one here.
The little girl is right.
Oh yeah, I just heard the
Did you hear
whisper
it's
right
like
at
a
the
Yeah, I
beginning.
whisper?
just heard it.
I
Right
should
at
have
the beginning. Here,
Should have
let
clipped
me,
that a little further out.
I can.
The little girl is right next to me right
Hmm.
now. On my right side. Is it the same?
And it was,
And that sounds like really close to you.
well, and the thing it's
The recorder was like right next to Leah though.
That's so
well,
weird.
it was Paige was with her, so I don't know where she was at that point.
Yeah,
'Cause
because
she-
it was me, Aaliyah, and then Paige.
I don't think Paige whispers a lot.
Mm-mm.
No.
She's good about calling that out. Forget. And then there was another one that says girl whisper forget whisper by Paige, then I know. This is called like 12 o'clock at night doing this, cutting these
I
out.
love these labels though.
Well, I got 3 recorders running and everybody makes fun of me, but look who's got all the EVPs, right?
Here's this one.
Ooh.
I can get some of the bass out of that. Let's see.
Yeah, it was 4 seconds, and then at 22 seconds there was
Yeah.
that one. I'm not. I mean, it could be one of us, but it's so clear. You never. That's a hard thing when you have a real clear one. You're like, wait a minute.
One more
It's almost
time.
too clear.
Yeah. One more time.
The thing is we are really good at calling each
Mhm.
other out for whispering too. So if somebody was sitting there whispering, we would have been like, stop whispering, or so and so whispering. So
That one doesn't sound like that. I think that was a cutout of that first one. Is what that was.
That sounds like an EVP. That does not sound like one of us.
No,
Right.
it doesn't sound like the one that says 2 EVPs would be red 2 EVPs. There's a whisper, and then an at 22 seconds in. So 4 seconds and 22 seconds or something.
Hmm.
Let's see.
It says 2 EVPs. Red. It would say red 2 EVPs.
I think you're
5.
perfect.
Yeah.
Sweetie, I have little kids at home, and I would not tell you to do something that would hurt yourself.
Oh, okay.
I would go.
So she heard it,
Sweetie,
and
I
then
have
there's
little
at
kids at
22
home,
seconds. There was another one
Okay.
on that.
I would go.
I'm gonna play it again.
Sweetie, I have little kids at home, and I would not tell you to do something that would hurt yourself. That's really nice.
Mhm.
I would go.
Is that you?
That was Paige, right?
You hear that? You
And
right?
that was when we were behind the stage.
That was cool. That part. I'm like, because it didn't sound like us doing it was like a
No.
little kid. I like that
I
one.
think maybe they liked that I called it Sweetie.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You were talking like a mom. So I had 3 recorders, but one has it where you can put, or 2 of them have it. You can put headphones in, so you can actually hear it as it's being recorded. Some of them you just records, but
Mhm.
when you can plug in your headphones on these recorders, you can actually hear what it's actually recording. So you'll hear the recordings at the time.
The only thing I've noticed that I have a hard time with it is since you're listening to it real time and you're hearing yourself talking at real time, I feel like I start talking real slow
Yeah.
because it's like,
Yeah, or real
it's
loud.
very weird.
So that one was really cool.
That's a great one.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Let's see. And when you guys were in the balcony, so this is time when all of you guys were up there, so the red recorder, maybe number 4, oh, never mind. I didn't do that one 'cause it was too faint. If it's super low, I'm not going to show it to you because it's like, I'm too worried. You guys are gonna be like, oh, it's nothing, or I can't hear it. So red recorder, I don't know. It's called.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That one is very clear, but it does not sound like any of us.
Okay.
Hear that?
Ooh, yeah.
Yep.
That's a good one.
That's a
It sounds like a guy, doesn't it?
That was
Yeah.
really
And it
good.
was all women down there. Can
mhm.
you play that again?
Were you down there, Paul?
I don't know.
You don't know.
One more time.
That is so weird.
That is a guy, right?
Yeah.
That's
That
a
sounds
guy.
like
a dude.
masculine.
And there was no guys with you guys. All we had was Paul, right?
Yeah.
This wasn't
That day?
during, okay, so this wasn't during the tour when we had the tour guide with us, right?
No, this was 53 minutes into when you guys were all. Well, let's see. No, it was not in the tour.
Okay. Just double checking
Yeah.
because I know he was messing with the lights too. But he would probably know how the lights work because he's there all
Yes.
the time. So
He wasn't with you guys, right? Or he was in there?
No, he wasn't.
Oh,
No,
okay.
this was like when
just
we
the
were
tour.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And see, this is what we do. We have weird stuff and we try to like, okay,
Who was there?
who was there? Is it, did this really happen or can we explain? Because a lot of times we're not just going to believe everything we hear and go, oh, that's paranormal,
So,
which I think is
the
important.
red recorder humming. That one was basement
You're right,
setting
I
up
got it.
recorder with everyone. Yeah, this was in the basement, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
wait.
Let me
You
try
hear,
that
it was
one
a couple
again.
hums in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't say I'm gonna F you
Yeah.
up. Didn't it say
That's
that?
what I heard the first time, and I don't. I mean,
Nobody was telling each
nobody
other I'm
was.
gonna.
Well, that's Deb talking.
Nobody was
Yeah.
saying I'm gonna F you up down there. I mean, that's
In a
just
nice way.
Well, and
So-
Deb wouldn't say that
No.
either.
Deb would
No,
not say that.
absolutely not.
no.
Was this when we were all in the theater?
No, I think
No,
this is
that's
the basement.
Yeah, that was the basement.
That's
No
not
wonder-
when all of
no-
us were in the basement, though.
No wonder you went running away.
That's
Right?
not when all of us were in the
No,
basement.
that was not in the end. That was and then we went to the balcony. Maybe it was because this is the end of that recorder.
Would one of the girls have said that?
No,
Not like
No.
joking around with each other?
no, that doesn't sound like.
I know, and I don't recall anybody like,
No.
because that probably would have been like, not with recorders going.
Yeah, let's hear it again.
Let's play that beautiful bean footage.
That totally sounds like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
don't talk to each other like
No.
that.
I mean, what would
I mean,
we-
I'm known to drop a F-bomb here or there, but not generally during
Yeah.
an
There's
investigation.
nothing we would do that would to insinuate we would say that to somebody. So
That
I'm
is
just saying.
That's very interesting.
strange.
yeah. Girl talk. Oh, on the balcony. Maybe this is the one that
Girl
you're.
talk.
So red recorder, girl talk, and that was 11 seconds. It was 11 seconds and
Oh, this is when we were all down below and you went up there with Paige, right?
Yes. That part there. And I have cut it out. That little it was like a little tiny.
Would that have been us talking down below though? Oh, I don't know.
No,
That's pretty close.
I haven't tried to enhance it.
I don't know,
I could-
sensitives. What do you think?
I mean, you were up on that side of the balcony, so I mean,
I
that
did not go
possible.
on the balcony because the entity, I couldn't get that close.
She's
But there was
chicken.
a little girl right next to me. The little girl was right next to me. So, and she did not go past the stage at all. She wouldn't have gone down or anything towards the balcony. So.
She's probably scared of that too. And then right after that was the "Are you bored?" answer on the red recorder.
Ooh.
It was like a or something.
Ooh. Did he say yes?
I don't know. I couldn't figure it out.
I hear it, yeah. Like,
There he is.
It was
yeah.
like, and then there's
Like
like
a
two words in. I don't know, like a and then something else.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, I don't know. So that's it for the red recorder.
Holy
was-
cow.
I know, right? The silver, I think we did the humming ones. I think that was all in that. And then I don't think I had any on my black one. No. Or I got real tired to write. No, I think
That's a lot to listen to.
Yeah, that is.
yeah, I'll listen to them on my headset, and then when I download them, like, oh no, that's not what I hear. That's something else. So, but those are pretty good. I mean, that's like I said, the little girl was like, it was nice to hear that you guys were keep seeing a little girl, and then we actually got evidence of that on recordings. Now the thing with the theater, I know they said that the acoustics in there are really good, so you can whisper across and you can hear it, but
Mhm.
those are definitely little girl sounds. Nobody's humming. If we hum, we know to call it
Yeah.
out.
Well, I'm glad we're going back with all of this
Yes.
knowledge.
You just want to eat at the bull move.
I do. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It was good.
They had
Um,
a hamburger that Caitlin got. It was
yeah, it had
Caramel-
apples and caramel,
Yes.
caramel
on the
apple
burger.
hamburger.
I
I'm
want
about
that.
It was delicious.
I'm
it was
about that
almost
life.
too sweet with so much caramel, and it was so messy. but it was delicious.
So sensitives. Anything else to say about this investigation?
It was wonderful because it wasn't too overwhelming. So it was
Other than the last basement session.
right.
I think the basement for me was like, again, just probably one of the most like strongest emotions I've ever felt, because it went from, we were all down there as a group and just kind of doing a big ending of the night group session, to just this rising panicking feeling.
Yeah, that was not good.
Like towards the
but-
end. And there was something when my group was down there earlier, this like mass that was kind of hovering, as well as a woman who was at the time standing behind me, and like her and this entity kept arguing. And there was a little girl and a like teenage boy down there with us. And so they just seemed uncomfortable with that entity. And the woman had gotten him to go away. But then when we went down as a group at the end of the night, like I could feel and see all of those spirits and something dark at the other end of the ramp. And it just seemed like it was coming towards us, and all the spirits that we had encountered earlier were like, get out. Like they were starting to panic, which is why I like got to a point where I was
Right.
like,
We
I
had
need to
get
leave.
out.
It's like all the mice were running away from something. Is
I
that
mean,
what it was?
that's what it felt like. No joke. It was just like this slowly, it just started building. Like, I'm uncomfortable. This is
Yeah,
bad.
that was pretty bad. Where when our group was down there, all I heard was when we got up to leave was the teenage boy say we're hiding. And that was after you guys were down there the first time. And I had told Christine that as we were going up, I said, this boy, teenage boy of some sort, told me they were hiding. And that's all he said to me. And I was like, okay.
He didn't say from what?
Yeah, he didn't say
No.
from what. He didn't say. And I had no idea that you guys had encountered
Yeah, because at this
everything.
point we
'cause-
hadn't talked at all.
Well, and we weren't allowed to.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't talk. We can't. be
Rules are rules.
friends.
Yeah. So we didn't know what had happened before. And then when we went down there as a group, then I was faced the other way, and I was seeing things behind you, and I'm like, oh crap, what's happening?
Yeah, I
What's
was
going
like, don't turn
on?
around.
Because
It's like
I
a
didn't
scary
know
movie.
what you guys were going through. And I'm like, why is there things behind? Why are things moving? Why are, it was pretty strong.
I like that one. That was a good place.
Yeah,
it was a
I
great
enjoyed it.
place.
And it just makes it more. I find that whenever in the past, if I've gone someplace where people are sensitive, you get so many more recordings.
Right.
And it's just awesome.
Well, and like Paul had talked about in the beginning, we're going to be leading a public hunt there in October. So like he said, go to their website. I'm sure we'll have it on our website at some point in Facebook. We have a lot of cool stuff coming up. We're doing an investigation next Saturday somewhere local that we're excited about. And then at the end of the month, we are going to the USS Edson. We were supposed to go last month, but we had to unfortunately reschedule. So we're going this month. We're going to be staying on the battleship
Yay.
overnight. So that's exciting. And geez, we have more JJC classes coming up. So keep an eye out for that. And we're also going to be teaching a class in Kankakee again and teaching a class in Ottawa. So
At Mid Valley, Illinois
Oh,
Mid
Mid-Valley.
Valley Communication or
Community.
CC, yeah.
and I think we're doing something in Rockford too for the Tinker Swiss.
Tinker Swiss. We're doing a talk on ghost hunting.
So we're going to be pretty busy. And if anybody's interested in joining us for any of this stuff, look for it online. Make sure you sign up for it. We'd love to meet you. And Paul and I just did a paranormal conference a couple of Sundays ago, and people are just they're so interested in the paranormal. And this is an easy way to kind of get introduced to it, is to come to these classes or join a public hunt and see if it's something you're even interested in. You might do it and be like, nah, this is not for me. But this is an easy way to try it.
Or, if you have something going on at your house too, and you're looking
Absolutely.
to find out if you're crazy or if there's something there,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
we're all
Yeah, the
about
Jolly at Junior College, by the way. The first session is 3-hour classroom talk,
Mhm.
because we can talk forever on ghost hunting. And then the second session is a ghost hunt
Yeah. So
in Lockport. So
it's definitely a
and,
good way to try it.
people had a lot of experiences the last time we did that. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you get to investigate with some people that are sensitive too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people like to eat.
Yep.
You're in the great place. I mean, it's a good place to
But
be.
yeah, we got a
Yes.
lot of stuff coming up, particularly since October's going to be coming, and that's of course
You know.
ghost
Oh,
hunting
yeah.
because of Halloween.
Mhm.
So
So yeah, we're super excited. I know I think we're doing another podcast next month.
yes, next month we're going to have Bishop Rake,
Mhm.
who has written a book on the paranormal, God and the paranormal. So that ought to be kind of fascinating. And yeah, please join. We're hoping to make it live
Mhm.
and maybe even video.
I'm in the middle of
So-
reading the book right now. It's really interesting.
So
So we're looking forward to that. But yeah, so you know what? Thanks to everybody who tuned in and listened to us. We hope you can come out and meet us at some of the stuff that we're doing and get a taste of what it's like to ghost hunt. We've all been doing it. Well, most of us are newbies, haven't been doing it that long, but most of us been doing a lot of years. So again, thanks for joining us today. And does anybody have anything else they want to add?
yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to message us on Facebook.
Yep.
And just message us your questions and we'll try to respond. And I don't know if we mentioned we're doing another paranormal conference,
Oh yeah, that's right.
the Midwest Spirit Fest or conference or whatever.
Isn't it at a
But,
brewery?
Yeah, it's actually at a distillery.
They might have food.
So they might have spirits.
Ooh.
But I'm
They
That's my
do
dad
have a
joke for the day.
haunted location, I think in the basement or something. There's a I want to say artisan well, but I'm not sure that's it. But it's a haunted area. They're going to be doing ghost hunts down there. So
Maybe that's where they'll put us.
Ah, that'd be cool.
In the basement.
What month
in
is
the
that?
basement.
You know what month it is?
That's October.
October.
Too.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's mid-October.
gotcha. Very cool.
It'll be fun.
Yep.
All right. Well, everybody have a great day, evening, whenever you're listening to this, and we'll be talking to you again soon.
Bye.
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 Bye.